shit happen. So, um, yeah, let me get this here. I'm going to unsnap. Says there's not controller connect, but I'm controlling everything. Yes. Okay. So my TV. Right. It's he has an ivy in his fake, I guess. So, yeah, it's got what am I doing? Bounced up. Hold on.
You were hospitalized in Dikelia, a British sovereign base area.
While the Soviets they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union. The United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparation, and in fact this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes news.
It's quite some news. The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics. Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. Get revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics. Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics? Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. The 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago. Détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and line politics won in the presidency and the landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union is an evil empire. The Second Cold War. And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iraq. The story never changes. Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty. But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently, his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs. Islamic extremists? Yes. Fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terror in recent years. We've had extremist students in Iran, U.S. embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed. The countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terror. Afraid of losing their own, pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity. Private forces. Small armies with no national affiliation, working for the highest bidder. That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet the soaring demand. Miller's is just one of many PFs now. The entire world is after you. But at the same time, it needs you too. Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember. You'd formed an army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation. I remember, but... I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused coma. It's still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now. But this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men, basically mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force. But the reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. It was a huge job he was offering, but a shot at pulling it off. You accepted and headed into Costa Rica. The client even threw in an offshore facility in the Caribbean. That would be your new base of operations. Miller sure did have a head for business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew. More weapons, more money. Before you knew it, commanding 300 men. As the organization got bigger, your military powers swelled to match. It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you. You were just too damn successful for your own good. You, your men, had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF. Officially, they're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher as bait. While you were gone, XOF, posing as a nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base. At the same time, C4 they placed on the strut legs went off. The whole thing went down in minutes. XOF. Kisses and hugs followed by a big FU. All because of Miller's blind spot. A back door into Mother Base no one suspected. You remember a certain scientist. Huey was responsible for bringing the inspection team on board, giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home. You were returning from Cuba when it happened. Mother Base came damn close to taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again, until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. The first doctor to see you wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even finished operating, moved you to that hospital in Cyprus. It was a woman named Eva who arranged that. Rings a bell, huh? Most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start. But you survived. You went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open. Full of venom. The days of Naked Snake are long gone. Welcome back, Venom Snake. This world still needs you. Your snake, try this on. A prosthetic arm. Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm... There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think? I can still feel my... Get used to this. You have any pain? Every now. Where? My left fingertips. Sounds like phantom pain. Brain still remembers your old hand. What about your vision? Can you see okay? Yeah, at the moment. in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. Any hard impact have an effect on your visual cortex.
Yeah. You mentioned that.
Your brain might process information incorrectly. You could have hallucinations. Things that aren't there and not as they really are. You experience any of that?
I think so.
When?
Right after I wake up. Colors look faded.
Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of itself, but it could mean the difference between life and field. You'll need to watch.
Oh, well.
You should continue your business. You'll be arriving soon. It's the last chance you'll get.
So, I'm assuming...
What about the unit that attacked us in the mist? You knew something about them.
That wasn't my first run-in with them. Where I was captured by the Soviets. We were on the Zero line that day. The died. On our way back from Mujahideen at a mountain in our province. There's a lot of Dan. Most PFs it because it draws too much attention. For us, that was the whole. The job itself went great. We just got back to a tribal area in Pakistan. But all of a sudden, visibility got real bad. It was no sandstorm. Our point man gave this strange report. He said he could see skulls in the mist.
Skulls.
The next moment, he went silent. We scrambled into formation right before his arms and legs came raining down on us. It was always supposed to be a dangerous mission. The dog's very best with me. We were calling out to each other. Their voices just went dead. To me, I lost consciousness before I knew it. When I came to, I was in camp, tied to an interrogation chair.
Could they be some new Spetsnaz unit?
No. The ones that interrogated me were just the average rank and file. Whatever group attacked us, the way they moved was insane. And that mist, appearing out of nowhere. The Soviets don't have tech like that.
If they did, Ocelot would have heard about it.
I doubt the West does either. Otherwise, the folks at Langley would be sleeping a lot easier.
Why'd they come after?
Wish I knew. I'm the only one who survived. I don't think they planned it that way. If I was their target, they wouldn't have just handed me over to the 40th Army. Whatever the case, we need to watch our step until we know who they really are. And boss, if you ever do run into them again, to take them on, you just get the hell out of there. When I first started dealing with Zero, with Cypher, it was a somewhat pathetic relationship, though a mutually beneficial one. Cypher had no army of, so they wanted us. They wanted our. They approached me as a potential business partner.
But they had other motives.
Cypher coaxed us into.
Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on... What do you remember from the hospital? Anything we can use?
Well, he took off. Sprinklers started up.
Sprinklers?
And when he got sprayed with water from the burst pipe, it slowed him down.
When we escaped on horse, wouldn't cross the river either.
Started to rain. And he disappeared.
Water against fire. Is it that simple? I mean, it makes sense. It's just hard to believe it would work on a guy like that.
Hey, so I've listened to me to read that as
Please select a mission.
I can do the flashback. That one. See on that one. I'm not very happy about that. Very happy about
Mission accepted.
Okay, so there's only one drop. Okay. Cool ass. Smash my helicopter. That is fucking awesome. I don't want to go there. I would like to go there.
Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Heading to Mother Base.
Let's go to the mother base. Fuck it. Fuck it. Go see what's going on over there. Then after that, I'm gonna go do the other mission. For some reason, this seems to take forever. Like forever, 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 and ever, ever. Because I look like I stink. In the game.
Boss, welcome home.
Where are your friends? Spit it out. Speak. Speak.
Really?
Spit it out. Spit it out.
Aw, I was hoping as to where diamonds are over here and stuff.
Boss. Will you agree? Thanks for that, boss.
Boss, will you train with me?
Talk. Boss. Talk.
Okay. So I don't think I have anything like here. I'm gonna go back up.
Please? Select landing zone. Landing zone.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
How can I see them like show up?
This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
Now can I do it?
Gaining altitude.
That is like a really, really nice. Fucking awesome view. Scenery going on in this mofo.
The side ops list is comprised of problems we need you to resolve. Objectives to be completed, and information gained from the soldiers and prisoners you've extracted. These aren't missions per se, but if you can take care of them when you're free, I'd appreciate it.
Ooh, I have a daily bonus. Where's that at? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Select emissions. Accepted. Heading to Afghanistan.
Now that I'm not filthy. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. Stop. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay. So now I have officially started C2W.
Boss, you need to disable the Soviets' reinforcement system by putting a hole in their base-to-base comms network. Head for the Eastern Communications Post and destroy its comms equipment. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment facility.
Okay, so in the area nothing. It looks like it's over here. I can hear a truck. From me. Okay. I don't go that way. My destination right here. Right and check. Oh, there's a side mission here.
Cargo plane.
There.
That Wild, he's a tough little guy. Boss, this is no time to be animals. What are you gonna do? Roger that. We'll
Yay.
We found out specialist. Translate information into Russian. This will have the upper warfare. List and extract. That's the time.
Arrived at Mother.
How many people are there? All the bitches.
На случай, если я вдруг американцев.
Прошу, повторяй за мной. Spent
I
last
last night
with girlfriend.
with your...
Ха,
Правда? Сбит могут помочь в этой войне.
I'm such a douchebag.
Russian support. Tracked him.
God. I haven't got it today. What's up with me? Off. The game's off. Something's wrong.
Black. Some of the domestic guard. Animals.
Side op. Arrived at Mother.
Boss. List you extract very cooperative. Dreamed of living a free life like folks in the world. What are the odds, huh? I've gone ahead and placed his Russian interpretation. But what Soviet soldiers are saying, you can interrogate them.
Unit
Should give you
All that I picked up is D-Dog. Okay, while I'm on the horse, no bad. Dang it! I have a 4. That's really awesome. Oh, pony. Mom never got me.
Extraction. At Mother.
My dad never got me a pony either. He said he would, but that way. Have I been someone? It's kind of making my Okay, there we go. Hey. Did it. Hey. Look. Plants. Okay, I want to know. Whoa. And it says, okay. It's there. Awesome. That makes no sense of what dramatic.
Extraction arrived at the base. Reach your destination.
Wormwood, also known as lithium. Your face. You made it. First, use the binoculars to locate the communication.